NHL Nightly with your host, the sportsman, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry. Whoa, welcome to NHL Nightly. Happy Halloween. I am Peter Lebowski. This is Rico. What up, Rico? What's going on? Happy Halloween.
Hey, happy Halloween too, man. I was at a hockey game earlier and I was drinking these beers with this beer hat and I had my head chugging and all of a sudden a puck hit me right in the helmet and it's like stuck into my head and I'm starting to bleed a little bit. So if I'm a little off tonight, I might be, but I'll do my best, man.
Whatever you can do, man, means the world. Thank you for coming in costume, man. Appreciate you. No Pearlo tonight. He had family duty, which that can happen. No worries. We're all happy. We'll miss you, Pearlo. Hell, we can't see you when you're on here anyway. So Relax, man. Relax. It's all good. So I'm the Big Lebowski. That is my costume. I'm going to use this forever as my costume. I went and got a nice wig for the luscious locks, you know. And having hair is kind of weird, bro. You know, I'm not used to it. I haven't had it since my 20s. So
it looks good on you, man.
I'm T-minus 10 days, and I'll be in Toronto. My main man Rico and I are planning our first night out on the town together. We're going to go see the Vancouver Canucks and Toronto Maple Leafs play. I'm going to rock Leafs gear, and I'm just going to be such a good hockey fan. We're going to draw people to this channel, Rico. I promise you. I'm going to pull my one famous person card when I get to Toronto and see if I can't get with my boy. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to jinx it, but it's going to be fucking epic in sports beard fucking history on NHL Nightly. Thank you for coming in. If you're watching NHL Nightly, it's in production and in support of, with the help of Fans First Sports Network, FFSN, for the fans, by the fans. That is us. Check us out. Fans First Sports Network, all your podcasts, Spotify. This is NHL Nightly. I am Jeremiah Maxwell, a.k.a. Beard Lebowski. This is Rico, a.k.a. Damaged Hockey Fan. Is that what we're going with?
I think so, man. I don't know what to call myself yet, but I
like the red mullet thing. You got like a carrot top mullet thing going. That's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, I figured I'd grow my hair, you know. It's just a guy from Northern Ontario watching the Leafs, and then next thing you know, I got a puck in my head. It's like, yeah, it's been a tough night for Toronto, man. Tavares just scored, so.
Oh, nice. We got a Johnny T score update. John Tavares, if you're just joining us, we're watching the games live. There's only 2 tonight after there was 9 yesterday. Also, hey, guys, I buried the lead. Thank you for joining us. If you are just joining us, the link is in the bio for the young man that was killed over in England. And that's his GoFundMe for his family. So if you check out the video on YouTube, the link for it is in the comments to GoFund. I'm going to donate $100 in honor, in the name of NHL Nightly. Just, you know, not for publicity, but just, you know, like, because I don't want to put my real stuff out there. I'll go anonymous. But I just wanted to, you know, say, hey, this was a terrible thing to happen in hockey. We're acknowledging it. We don't want to spend the night talking about it. There's been a million channels and YouTubes and stuff that have discussed it. So we aren't going to. We're just going to say, hey, if you really care, donate to the his family's GoFundMe. The link is in the comments. I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget that. I pre-planned that yesterday as I was putting the show together. I hope everybody had an awesome weekend. We missed 9 games yesterday. I watched every swing in one of them. And my favorite was, Rico, I don't know, I wanted to talk a little bit about this with you. Did you happen to see the Pittsburgh Penguins Anaheim Ducks game?
Pittsburgh's in trouble, man. I don't know what the fuck Dubas was thinking bringing these guys in there, but it does not look good so far, man. I think they were saying on Fan 590 today that Carlson looks like a horse without a saddle right now. I think
Dude,
that's
I knew it was a bad fit. It was like I kept saying, like, and this is my argument about Crosby and Ovechkin. I said, count the Hall of Famers that have played with Crosby. I'm not trying to finish Crosby. He's a great hockey player. He'll go down as probably the top 10 greatest hockey players of all time. But the guy has played with an exorbitant amount of Hall of Famers. And you just threw another one on there, and Erik Karlsson. What I've been saying from the get is it never made sense to me. Isn't Chris Letang just a poor man's Karlsson? Maybe a little bit better defensively, maybe not as good offensively as Karlsson. It was just not a need. They needed secondary scoring, which, honestly, by the way, Nashville, bearing the lead, Nashville got a penalty shot. Liam Foudy, former Columbus Blue Jacket, now playing with the Nashville Preds. Nashville is playing Vancouver in Vancouver. Vancouver's wearing the blacks, and I, at the break, will come back in the Vancouver black jersey as Big Lebowski or Beard Lebowski. Hopefully we get some people in. I know there was a lot of people streaming tonight for this game. Valhalla Sports, Hot Take Hockey, so they're going to be there. So a lot of our regulars are fans of those channels. So I appreciate everybody. Andrew came in earlier and said before, hey, man, appreciate you. He's taking a break from YouTube. Anyway, I'd like to say personally to Andrew Beauchesne, we appreciate you, man. We love having you in the chat. It's great. This show is built on fan engagement, so we can't do it without you. And Mondays are going to be slow because we take 3 days off because, life, and we shouldn't work too hard. We should enjoy life because we're not here very long. Anyway, I love those black Vancouver retros. Those are sick jerseys. What are your thoughts?
I always like those jerseys, man. Those are probably the best ones in my opinion. That era when they wore those, that was sick, man. I'm glad they're wearing them again. I
wish they would go back to them because no other hockey team has that color scheme.
Yeah,
like the blue and the white it's good. I know they have the green. I know they have an abundance of the green, but yeah, you've got Toronto with the blue and the white. Toronto's blue and white is you don't need. I do like the red from time to time when they do the red lettering and stuff, but the different leaf combinations or whatever. But Toronto's is Toronto's. It's good. I love it. You're wearing the Austin Matthews tonight. It's good. I threw that Austin Matthews up there, and then I got the Vancouver. I was gonna put the black one up, but I was like, no, I'll go with the blue one, man. We'll keep it kind of same because I don't have Nashville and I didn't have LA. Used to have LA Gretzky. Otherwise, I'd put LA up. 3-1, man. 8:34 left in that Leafs game. You got to be happy for the Leafs fan. They're coming back in the game,
I think coming off that long road trip, it's always that first game back home. LA sitting in Toronto. Yeah, it could be a rookie party going on. Could be some drinks back on the plane. Could have had a nice time. And you're finally coming home and kind of get your feet back on the ground. And then there's that adage that it's always a tough game to play. But
hey, our main man Andrew Ford is North Carolina bartender has some major breaking news in the chat, Rico.
What's up?
No longer a bar worker. He quit. He was stalking me. You're going to have to explain that one to me, Andrew. I don't know what stalking me is. Was it making you tired? You just didn't like it? Anyway, you sounded like you didn't have any personal job satisfaction.
I quit the bar. A worker was stalking him, so maybe it was some girl that was stalking him or something.
Oh, I mean, that sounds like a good time. Am I wrong? I never had a girl come after me.
It depends if she's got a puck in the head or not.
Interesting. By the way, Rico, you make a hell of a Caucasian.
Sweet, man.
Are you a White Russian guy? You ever had a White Russian?
I've had them, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Big Lebowski made White Russians popular. I got to say, I wouldn't have the White Russian. Well, I normally don't drink or do anything when we're on the stream, so I just drink water. But the costume would not be complete. Oh, I see LA just scored. Wow, man, at first I thought LA was at home. I was like, oh, it's like an early game for LA, like a 5 o'clock. I was like, oh, they're in Toronto. What do you think this?
Talk, I guess because of ESPN covering. I guess. Did you see what PK Subban and Mark Messier were dressed as?
Yeah. Okay, for the people on the podcast, Mark Messier and PK Subban doing ESPN coverage with Steve Levy. Mark is dressed as Elvis. Pretty good. Mark Messier is still in shape once he's in his 60s, boy. It still looks good. And PK is Ace Ventura when he goes to commit himself at the mental institution so he can find out about Ray Finkel. He's in the tutu and the crazy hair, which is ironic because the lady that took him in was Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox on Friends. Hey, cheers to the eternal hockey fan, Matthew Perry. Man, I have to say, there was no way I wasn't going to talk about it. He was a big-time hockey fan. He was a Kings, Ottawa Senators fan. Kind of apropos, the Kings are getting their beating the crap out of the Leafs because he was an Ottawa guy. But anyway, man, that was a big deal. Did you guys watch Friends in Canada, man? It was a big deal here.
Oh yeah. That was a huge show through that era in our lives. Like Friends was on every night. It was like the Big Bang Theory of the late 90s, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, more so because more people watched Friends than the Big Bang, even though the Big Bang. Dude, those are the ones I didn't miss out on. You know, I was not a huge Seinfeld guy. I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm a big Larry David fan, but like I just couldn't get into it when I was in high school and stuff. And then, you know, later in the military, you know, I was into like the X-Files and, you know, wrestling because it was the Attitude Era and it was like the greatest era ever because Stone Cold Steve Austin, what am I going to say, man? This aggression will not stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to do as much Lebowski as I can. Anyway, 4-1 LA, 6:56. I did not see who scored the fourth goal. Hope you guys enjoyed us. Huh?
Kempe. Adrian Kempe had it.
Oh, he's a good player, man. Nimmer Pearlo thought he was Finnish.
Yeah.
Like, he's not. Yeah, so still scoreless in the Vancouver. Boy, I'll tell you what, Rico, I've been so impressed. Quinn Hughes looks awesome. He just had a great scoring chance. I mean, dude, you got to be loving what you're seeing from the Canucks this year if you're a Canucks fan, right?
Yeah, man. Rick Tocchet in place. You got, the leadership players are playing like leaders there. It seems like everybody's got their head on straight there, where it didn't seem like it too much last year.
I just think Bruce is a really lax coach. And I think when they fired Green, they just needed a break from that type of voice. And then, so for what I've understood is Tocchet is a player's coach, but he's not afraid to be honest with you. And I think because of his NHL resume, players are just going to respect him. It's like the Rod Brindamore effect. Honestly thought he was kind of miring in Arizona, and it was more because of the roster. And then I thought they overachieved when he was the coach. And it was just time for a change there anyway. I don't think he deserved to get fired per se. But and I love Gabby, man. Like, I'm a huge Bruce Boudreau fan. I mean, I wish the Caps would have got it done when he was a coach. It just would have meant a lot to see that guy win a Stanley Cup. But, I really wouldn't mind seeing Rick Tocchet take the Vancouver Canucks to the Stanley Cup and get a W for old Western Canada, man. They've not won one. They're a long tenure franchise. We just saw the Blues and the Caps end long streaks. Vegas ended their horribly long streak. That's a joke. I mean, they were in the league 6 years. They win the cup. I mean, the Leafs, I'd like to see them in, how about a Leafs Canucks final? I mean, I know what we're seeing tonight from the Leafs doesn't convince you, but those kind of things would excite me. And I think because those are pretty big cities, and I think with the injection of all the hockey fans that are really in, I think those would not be terrible finals. And of course, everybody in Canada would be watching.
Yeah, the Canucks have the pieces there, man. And I think Tocchet's like a player's guy. Like, you hear a guy like Biz talking about they love what he's had to say about him. I think the players in the league respect and just love him as a person. He's just a genuine guy, and you make a coach you want to play for, right?
So our boy Andrew, again, Andrew, I'm assuming you're a boy. But if you aren't, I apologize and let me know. Said the person kept trying to say he was going to come to my house. Yeah, that's scary, man. Sorry you're dealing with that at work, man. Toxic work environment. I know about it. Anyway, appreciate you keeping us informed. We love to hear about you. We love having you. Tonight we're watching hockey. It's the first day of the week for here of us at NHL Nightly. We take Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Tuesday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Sports Beard channel. Sponsored by Fans First Sports Network. You could find us talking hockey. Sometimes, maybe, we have our friend Pearlo Wisdom, gambler extraordinaire, Peepow Picks. Check out his site. I'll throw it on the screen there. But love having you. I've got some big-time guests coming. I reached out to some people. We're going to have tomorrow Emerald City Hockey. Emerald City Hockey. RJ Ekinos, Dylan Travers from Emerald City Hockey. RJ is a full-time reporter for the Seattle Kraken, goes to the games, covers them, I believe, primarily in just Seattle. But we'll ask him tomorrow if he goes on the road. I'm really super anyway, the next day, we have John Duncan, a.k.a. Off the Wall Hockey. He's going to come in and talk about the Boston Bruins. Boy, they lost their last game. They came back against Florida, so they got a little bit of retribution there. I saw somebody's tweet Game 9. I was like, okay, it means nothing, guys. They suck. But anyway, still 0-0 Vancouver Predators, 11:22 left in the first. Toronto's 4-1 down to the LA Kings with 4:30 left. 24 shots on goal for the Kings, only 30. And Wall was starting tonight, huh? So you think long road trip, boys were just a little bit hungover? Oh, Mark Hallred. Mark, hey, thanks for joining us. He's like, Bruins still undefeated. Yeah, Bruins look good, man. I mean, that's what we're going to talk about on Thursday with Off the Wall Hockey. John Duncan, we're going to talk about your Bruins, that very same thing. I'm going to tweet out our link tonight too, Rico. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to do that. I did it beforehand, but go ahead and tell me what you're thinking about all that garbage I was spewing.
About what, Boston, or about personal stuff?
The Boston, the Bruins, yeah.
The Bruins, man, they did it last year and they're doing it again this year. It's just unbelievable what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
Just a rotating cast. And I mean, one thing is they're definitely going to miss McAvoy with getting 4 games. And I think it was the right thing. He doesn't have a track record, but he did definitely go after the guy's head there. He was by himself in front of the net. And he was just maybe thinking that he was going to get hit sort of thing, but the guy was in front of the Boston net. And he clipped him pretty good there. So I don't know, man. I descended about the Bruins this year, and I'm like, they lose this guy, they lose that guy. But then one of the last shows we came on before the season started, I'm like, I'm not counting Boston out until they tell me they're out. So I don't know, man. Good goaltending tandem there, Swayman and Allmark, dude.
Yeah,
good leadership there.
Yeah, I have Swayman, man. He's been really good in fantasy, and you know who hasn't been good? No, and Swayman went late was Gustafsson.
Mm-hmm.
And for Minnesota, I think Marc-Andre Fleury's been starting for them. I might have to drop him. I don't know, because I want to free up a roster spot. Somebody dropped Johnny Gaudreau because he wasn't doing well. I was like, I'm picking him up. What?
I saw that too. I think people are just hoping that they drop somebody and nobody kind of notices, but it gets flagged throughout the league, and everybody knows every time somebody drops somebody. So it's not like you can just drop someone and pick him up when he's got 4 games the next week. You'll pick him back up. Like, there's no doing that. Yeah, I mean, go figure. The only loss Boston has is in overtime, and it's against the Ducks. Like, what about Anaheim this year? These guys are playing all right too.
Dude, that Anaheim game was so damn good. So I didn't watch it. It was the one game I was like, Pittsburgh's going to kill him. I don't want to see it. I go, because I was watching 5 games at once. I had my wife's iPad to my left. I had the big screen on. I had my iPad, and then I have another iPad on. And then I had my phone with the Kraken because I got a site where I can watch the Kraken, a legal site. I'm not going to say, I'm not breaking the law, but I watch a Kraken. So I was like, I'm not going to watch the Leafs. I'm not going to watch them. And, or not the Leafs, I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch Anaheim get their shit pushed in by Pittsburgh. It doesn't sound fun to me. Whatever. It was the one game I thought. So I missed the controversy of Cronin getting booted. As soon as I saw that, I put that game on. It was 3-3. Anaheim outplayed their ass. And then Pittsburgh gets a gift 5-on-3 with the last 2 minutes of the game. They not only do not score, the puck comes out. Mason McTavish comes out, goes straight down, and sticks it right up everybody in Pittsburgh's ass. It was like the greatest day of my life. I loved it so much. Nothing gives me more joy than watching that super team get – and by the way, I'll say this, Rico. I know what you said earlier. I do not think Anaheim is someone that you can sleep on. They're like Philly this year of the West. Philly, you better be ready to play because they're going to run you out of the building. And every game I've seen Philly play this year, they have not lost a game where they've gotten outworked. They just have been outskilled. And right now, Couturier leads the NHL. I have a stat. I'll throw it up. He leads in like scrimmage takeaways or whatever. I think I bookmarked it. So I'll show it. Hopefully it shows up here. I've been having problems. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches you want to play for, there's another coach in Montreal that's getting his players to play well. Montreal's 5-5-2, and they outshot Vegas last night.
Oh,
we should have won that game.
I watched that game. They had the ice tilted. I go, what is going on with Vegas? But you know what? I think it has more to do with how Montreal looks. Montreal looked incredible. That's another team. Do not sleep. Oh, hey. Hey. Elite Eklund in the chat. I know who it is. He's trying to be anonymous. Jack Olson, our good friend. Hey, Jack, thanks for being with us. Rico makes a hell of a Caucasian, baby. We are so excited, man. We have like 5 people in the chat, bro. This is awesome. I tweeted it out on the NHL Twitter. I'm trying to grow this. I'm going to do everything I can to get better. We're going to get graphics. We're going to get up to the mouth microphones for Rico, me, and Pearlo. We're going to get Pearlo's camera stuff situated. I don't care if I have to buy him Elon's internet or whatever. We'll figure it out.
And we need a videographer for when Beard does Toronto, man. If anybody's out there that does video and editing, like Beard does Toronto, he's coming to Toronto, man.
Yeah, first time ever.
Sick YouTube video.
And I'm coming stag. I'm coming by myself, so like I could just hit the ground running, and I don't have to worry. Not that my wife she will go. She'll ride with me. She's die hard, man. When we did Denver. We did Denver pretty hard. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm working Elite Eklund like your San Jose Sharks. Dude, San Jose is another team. Yeah, they have 0 talent. Do not go in there thinking you're going to run them out of the building. They scored the first goal against the Caps and then went in 2 periods without anything happening. And I'll tell you, anyway, if you're just joining us, thanks. Leafs, LA Kings is a final 4-1 Kings. I know the banner is not accurate. I will fix that as we speak. That's a final. It's still scoreless I believe it's still scoreless in the Vancouver Nashville game. That is in Nashville. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's in Nashville. Or is that in Vancouver? That's in Vancouver. They're wearing the black ones. My bad. They're wearing the black. That makes sense because Nashville would be way late there. So I thought the Kings looked good. I didn't think Toronto looked really terrible. I just think they, it was after a long road trip. I think honestly those are probably the harder games. I bet you the 5th or 6th road trip game is a better game. All the guys have been hanging out on the road for 2 weeks, a week, 10 days. and then you get home, everybody separates. So I think that's probably why you see that drop off. What do you think, Rico?
I feel the same way too. And Toronto's an Eastern time zone, so it's not like you're in a central moving around from east to west a little bit. You're going from out west back to out east. And yeah, I mean, these guys got separate lives and everything, so everybody's coming back and, like you said, separating, and you've got stuff to take care of at home, whether it's month end too. Maybe you never know, somebody has house bills, somebody's got to pay monthly rent, end of the month kind of shit. You're just getting stuff done before the calendar turns to November. So I mean, we're playing on the last day of the month right now. You're just getting back home, first game. So I mean, this was a good spot for LA to win. I mean, I don't think Wall played bad. I mean, the LA goals were just defensive breakdowns in Toronto, a couple of them.
Speaking of goals, Quentin Hughes puts Vancouver up 1-0. Carry on, Rico.
Beauty, bud. Beauty goal. Quentin Hughes. Yeah, good on talk to put the C on him too, man.
I think that was an organizational decision that was super intelligent. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I could have seen him leave that organization if they kept being run like the way they were being run, and he go to the New Jersey Devils. And play with his brother.
He was at the Devils for Dougie Hamilton and like a second-round pick and a third-round pick or something.
I think you get a first all day for Quinn Hughes.
Yeah,
I think there's 30 teams in the NHL that would give you a first. I mean, like maybe 27. So I don't think Colorado would do it because of Makar, right? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Probably not Buffalo because of Power and Dahlin. I just feel like they're probably not. Maybe Vegas would, though, because Petro is not young like Vegas, and they'll make moves. So I don't even want to rule them out. Like, they could do it.
I just said Devils because his other two brothers are there. Can you imagine all three Hughes brothers playing on New Jersey?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I thought the way Vancouver was trending, it was only a matter of time before we saw Quinn Hughes and a New Jersey Devils. I do not think that's the case now. I think he's going to carve his own legacy. And you know what? I like it. And I would love for him to do it on that Vancouver Canucks team. I mean, I know you're a Leafs fan, and it's like, oh, you don't want to root for them. I know it's a pretty good rivalry and stuff, but like to me, that's a Canadian team that hasn't won a cup. I mean, I know Ottawa hasn't either. I mean, Ottawa is a team I wouldn't mind seeing either. I like that team a lot. I just think they're not there yet. So, hey, John, thanks for popping in, man. Hello to you. Appreciate you coming on the chat. GC HTH sent you. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate. Hopefully we get a little push from the HTH. But yeah, man, I really love Quinn Hughes being the captain. I love what I'm seeing from Vancouver. It's been a good game, man. I think Nashville's kind of started off pretty good the first 10, and it looks like Vancouver's come on the second 10. If you're just joining us, it's 1-0 Vancouver in Vancouver. They're wearing the nasty blacks, which I'll put on. Hey, thank you so much, everybody, for the HTH raid. Dennis, nice to have you. Prophet and Mignon. I hope I said that right, man. Thank you so much. That's awesome, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're getting up there. What do you think about the Panthers? You know what, John? I like the Panthers. They are way better than I thought they would be, and I don't think they're going to have any problem making the playoffs.
Well, the Panthers are staying in games, too. They're not getting blown out. They're staying in games. They're playing Panther hockey. As long as you got Kachuk still there and Bobrovsky's still in net, you got good leadership. I think Reinhardt's coming back. I think he is back now. They're going to start to get a little healthier as he ended midway.
It was Sam Bennett. It was I think you're mixing up.
Yeah, not Reinhardt. Sam Bennett.
Yeah.
They're going to do what they did last year. They're going to start getting hot again and healthy around the Christmas break. And next thing you know, here's Florida again. They got unfinished business.
Oh, my God. Hot Take Hockey is so awesome. Hey, thank you. Hey, Rick. Hey, Rick, I don't know if you can see your pictures. They're all scattered in the back here. I got your Canadian legend pictures behind Doug Gilmour in a New Jersey Devils. Oh, this is a new sign, Old Time Hockey. If you just join and I grew hair. Mike Fiore, all right, thank you. How about them Rangers? Yes, Mike, I'm so impressed with the Rangers. They look great. My wife is ecstatic, and I'm happy. Happy wife, happy life. Go Rangers, man. I got to get a wrench. OW, I got to get a wrench. Yeah, you have to explain that one to me, Mike. But anyway, I really appreciate all you guys coming in. This is awesome. We're getting a lot of Nashville just tied it up 1-1. If you're just joining us, the Leafs lost tonight at home to the LA Kings 4-1. Nashville's up 2-1. My bad. Holy crap. So Nashville got 2 quick goals since you all have come in and rated. And but we were just giving Vancouver a whole lot of love. A whole lot of love. Who sings it, Rico?
Got a whole lot of love. Isn't that got a whole lot of the oh shit. Led Zeppelin, huh?
Yeah, Led Zeppelin, buddy.
Yeah.
It's the Creedence Clearwater revival of the rock movement. Yeah. I by the way do not hate the Eagles like Jeffrey Lebowski. Beard Lebowski he likes the Eagles. So
yeah, sorry,
so Nashville scored right after Sisson's Rick. Thank you for being with us. Legend Rick Smith. Fabro scored right after. So Nashville's up 2-1 with 2:57 left to go in the first. Thank you for joining us tonight on NHL Life. I'm your NHL. Hey. NHL Nightly is what I'm trying to say. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I think Nashville might have scored again. Oh, no, they're replaying the Fabro goal. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Dante Fabro makes it 2-1 for Nashville. Boy, Nashville, too, another one. I think a lot of people think, the Leafs lost that game, too, didn't they? We do make a lot of excuses for the Leafs at times, I think. But I just will say this. They play at such a tough media market. I mean, outside of Montreal, and I think Edmonton's there now too, though, right? The pressure. I mean, Edmonton, Calgary, but I think Edmonton. Oh, geez, you make a hell of a Caucasian, Rico.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that, buddy. Just snap my hands and it appears.
Yeah, I still got this puck stuck in my head, man, and I think I might be concussed.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was Reinhardt instead of Sam Bennett earlier. I was like, I'm still feeling the effect.
Our friend in the chat, John Branford, by the way, leave a like, subscribe. NHL Nightly, we're Tuesday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We talk all the games of NHL. John is saying he's going to a Panthers game on the 13th. That is awesome, Jan. They actually play in where do they play in? They don't play in Miami, but it's just Fort Lauderdale, I believe. I am going to a Panthers game this year. I have the tickets already, I think. And I'm going in like January or something, February. So, yeah, I'm excited to go. I've not been, so I'm going. Bacon, our man in Calgary, Bacon in the chat. So, yeah, and yes, Rick is telling us. I knew who it was, Rick. Imagine Nashville had a 1C and another top-tier winger to be playing with Forsberg. Elias, by the way, thank you for being in the chat. Go Canucks, go. I'm going to rock the Canucks jersey in the second period for Halloween, the Pavel Bure Black Canucks. We're gonna Beard Lebowski. So, yeah, I'll have to look it up, John. I know, but it's February time frame. I'll leave it in the chat, so come back. Salty, our mod is here. Hey, thank you, Salty. Appreciate you, man. You know, me and them cats love that team. We have family ties. Oh yeah, Mike. I'm not surprised being from New York. You got people in Florida. It feels like a lot of people from New York moved to Florida. I would just say, feels like that's a thing, right? Rico, like what's that in Canada? Like a lot of Torontoans go to PEI or something? Or more, or there Canadians come to the States all the time. So
yeah, we're only a couple hours from the border. So
I'm talking about like warm weather, cold weather type thing.
It's either gone, and now a lot of people are going to Mexico because the Canadian dollar towards the American isn't the best. A lot of them are pulling out of Florida and actually going down to Mexico so you can use the peso and vacation in these little coastal towns down there. They're getting filled with tourists. I got a ton of Canadians. The one time I went to Mexico that like lived down there full time and stuff. Well, that you can like get your teeth done for like dirt cheap, and like the healthcare down there, it's like you don't have to pay, especially Americans too. But a lot of Canadians that don't have healthcare we'll move down there.
So Mike Fiore, by the way, Mike Fiore, big time New York Rangers fan, awesome member of the Hot Take Hockey community. Glad Mike's here with us. New York Rangers diehard, says he's got cousins in management positions for the Cats. That's awesome, Mike. I know Scott Thornton was working for the Panthers. I mean, dude, the Panthers had a great year last year. They came up short, but they made it to the Cup final. I mean, if you'd have told a Cats fan they were going to make it to the Stanley Cup final and lose, they'd probably take it. I mean, they probably wouldn't like it, but they'd be like, oh, that's a W for a season they had to fight to be in the playoffs. By the way, Nashville's on a 4-minute power play. They must have got a double minor. But I've been real impressed with Vancouver's penalty kill, man. This is an important kill for Vancouver, 2-1, 150 left in the first. Big shot from the point. I believe Thatcher Dimko in net for oh, thank you, Rick. Yeah, internet's been weird lately, man. Oh, Liv Moods commercial. Shout out Liv Moods. Liv Moods used to work for the Volume. I had a chance to chat with her a little bit. She works in the sports. You learn a lot from people that are doing this stuff. So I'm trying to grow this channel. We're going to have graphics. We're going to have better mics. We're just going to get better. We're going to have highlights. We're just going to get better every time, man. 4 nights a week, come chat hockey with diehard puckheads like yourself. I want to try to get a good following of 25, 30 people a night. That would be a dream. And, we got a good number tonight, man. So all thanks to our good friend, Hot Take Hockey. I said I would shoot him a link if he wanted to come on. I know he's not happy about the Leafs performance tonight. But John, he's a high-class fan, and he holds his team to a higher standard. Okay. Anyway, he's got the link. And I hope he comes on. I know it would be nice to see him. The Macaroni hit, blindside was brutal. Yeah, Rick, I was trying to get things ready and I was running around, so I didn't really get to pay close attention to that game as much. I didn't think the Leafs looked awful. It just felt like the Kings looked really good. I've seen the Kings play. They're sort of in a similar position of the Leafs as far as kind of how their play's been a little bit hot cold. The difference is, I would say the Kings are kind of a deeper team. And I would say they both kind of have questions at the goaltender, right? I mean, I think a lot of Leaf fans have big expectations for Joseph Woll, and I think rightfully so. And Mike McKenna's come out and supported him. Obviously, he had a hand in training him. The kid's from St. Louis, Missouri, and he kind of grew up around Mike from there. And Mike's, I call him the goalie whisperer. He's got one of the best hockey brains. If you guys ever get a chance, at Mike McKenna, he works for Daily Faceoff. He's working for Sirius XM NHL Radio. Awesome, really good, man. Like I'll tell you too, man. Rico and I we're combing the articles. There was an awesome article on The Athletic about Clint Malarchuk having PTSD over this issue with Adam Peterson. Did I say that right? Was that the kid's name? I feel guilty. Adam Johnson. I'm sorry, Adam Johnson. And again, in the link in the bio for Adam Johnson, I'm going to donate $100 to his GoFundMe for his family. The guy that was killed over in Nottingham, England. I don't believe he was killed in Nottingham, but he played for the Nottingham team. And that says the link is in the bio there, guys, for the GoFundMe. Nottingham Panthers, Adam Johnson of the Nottingham Panthers. We talked about that at the beginning of the thing. So, yeah, thanks, Salty, man. Yeah, Salty, rest in peace, Adam Johnson. Pretty tragic. We don't want to spend any time talking about it, but we definitely think you can help out the family by clicking the link in the chat and donating to his family's GoFundMe to help with expenses. I know that the teams over there do a really good job. They help pay for master's degrees and stuff like that. So pretty crazy. Do we go 4-on-4 here a little bit? I saw a penalty. It's the end of the first. Still 2-1 Nashville. Nashville down 1-0 after a really banger Quinn Hughes goal. Into the break. We're going to take a break probably here in a minute. Rico, do you need a break? If you need a break, let me know, because Pearlo, I'll just give us both a break at the real quick time. We'll take a quick 3-minute. Come back. Man. We're on. You're good? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll be right back if you want to shut her for a minute.
Okay, yeah, go do what you got to do, man. I'll keep you off and I'll keep the chat entertained, and then I'll come back with you on, and then 4-on-4, Rick. Yeah. I didn't see the McRoy hit, man. I listened to Hot Take Hockey's. Viveros was he was not saying pleasant things about the Leafs, but he comes at it with a very watchful eye when it goes. I don't know. They're going to beat somebody though, Jack. The Sharks are good. The question in the chat was, what game will the Sharks win first? You know what, Jack? It's a good thing to be a Sharks fan. You got Will Smith. Maybe you get Macklin Calabrini. He's going to BU this year, right? I mean, he looks like a player. So, I mean, that's not too bad. Two centers that are that good up the middle. And you just you hopefully get something for Couture. You could maybe move Kevin LeBlanc at the deadline, stuff like that. So, Olsen, dead ass. Hope you get Calabrini. Yeah. I think if you're a Sharks fan, you just got to be positive, man. This isn't going to be a great year, but you're probably going to get the number one overall. And your team is not playing bad. The team is playing their ass off. You're going to get something for Anthony Duclair at the deadline. So it's going to be really good, man. I mean, this is going to be a crappy year, but think about it, man. The Sharks, their first year in the league, upset the Red Wings in the first round, man. I mean, look, there's some guys in there. Our friend Salty says Bystad is underrated. Yeah, Bystad. We got Elite Eklund. Eklund's going to be a really great two-way player. I don't know what his ceiling is, but we're going to see, man. Yes, Rick Smith, last in the Easton pit. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Pittsburgh does not look good, man. And look, I mean, everybody's like, oh, they need time, give them time. I'm hearing the same argument about Edmonton. Edmonton's bringing back, basically, I heard everybody say, oh, they got Connor Brown. They owe him like $3 million. I'm telling you, it's going to be an uphill battle for these teams. If you come out of October sub 500, you have to play like winning hockey the rest, and it's hard, man. It's hard to string in a lot of wins because there's so much parity in the league now. On any given night, any team can beat any team. Pittsburgh had a bunch of 2 5-on-3s and lost 4-3 in regulation to Anaheim, and I will argue Anaheim deserved that win anyway. They were the better team easily. Who is the Pens pick? Oh, wait, the Sharks. Yes, it's lotto protected. Yeah, the Pens could be a lotto team. You know what you're hoping is they're like a top 11. You know what, though? I believe it's lottery protected for this year, but not next year. So if Pittsburgh is a lottery, if they're not a lottery team this year, they might be one next year. So Rico is back. Hey, Rico. Philip Ekberg to San Jose is what our friend Salty says. So, we'll see. Yeah, Pittsburgh could have a low pick. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I know Kyle Dubas went in there, and I don't know what I feel about Dubas because of the way he left Toronto and stuff. So I don't know. I'm cheering for Dubas and Pittsburgh. Of course, I want to see Crosby succeed and be a playoff team because Pittsburgh's always good when they're in there. I know Beard doesn't like Pittsburgh because he's a Washington fan, but I'm sure he loves the players on the team and, still cheers for the boys, just not the logo. But I know locking up Tristan Jarry and you got Achari there on 3 years. Now you're bringing in Eller and Carlson, and it's obviously not working early, so hopefully it's just a gel thing with the team and maybe get her going. But there's some good stories in the league this year. Beard's putting on the Canucks jersey. Here we go. Is that Linden, Cliff Ronning, Bure? It's Mike Babbage. Dave Babbage. No, it's Bure. Fuck, I thought it was what's his name there?
I think it's safe to take the tag off this. Booyah, man. One of the greatest goal scorers. Isn't it crazy to me? You could make the argument that maybe he's the third or fourth greatest goal scorer of all time. That's how good that guy was.
Raw talent in a league where there's where there's clutching and grabbing still, and there's people yanking on you and taking.
And the two-line offside pass. If he played in this day and age, he would be Ovechkin-esque. I mean, Ovechkin was very much like him early in his career. Ovechkin's first 10 years, here's a guy that can skate like the wind and is the size of Lawrence Taylor. Now, he wasn't as fast as Pavel Bure, but nobody was. Amazing. Yeah. Salty, I know you're not old enough to see him in his prime, or you're barely old enough. Dude, that guy was so sick. I was in high school and that guy was in his prime. Just like unbelievable to watch. And, they didn't appreciate Russian players like they do now. Datsuk was kind of the beginning of that whole thing. So, hey, by the way, there was a signing today. I don't know if you saw. Frank Saravelli announced that the Edmonton Oilers signed a player. He's a former Oiler. Sam Gagner, 1 year, $700,000, or league minimum, I think $780,000.
Wow. Jeez. He's back. Sam Gagner, 1,000 games, man. He's in the 1,000 game club, Sam Gagner, and he was drafted by the Oilers.
Man, you know what? I almost said to myself, I like that guy so much. I feel like I have to let go of my Edmonton bias this year. And my only thing with Edmonton is they just tanked forever. They kept getting number 1 overalls and blowing it. I felt like they were the least deserving of McDavid. I just wonder if McDavid, he's from Toronto, how great he would have been in Buffalo and how that situation would have looked different. Because I feel like, think about early in McDavid's career, how much turmoil was at the Oilers. There was a bunch of changes. Like McTavish was there, Gretzky was there. Like they kept, because there was like this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's like, oh, we got to get Canadian Jesus with like the best thing we could have, and then finally they chilled out when Ken Holland went up there. But he's gone through I heard a lot of criticism as a Caps fan about Ovechkin, and he's a coach killer, which is an absolute bullshit lie made up in the media. But McDavid's been through as many coaches, and Crosby too, for that matter, went through a lot of coaches too. Just that's how I think the coach thing is such a different dynamic that not any one player gets a coach fired. It's just kind of results, and how the team is responding. And sometimes if you got a guy there a while, you got to change it up. Dude, by the way, speaking of Halloween costumes, I believe, did you see Mike Commodore go to the Dallas Stars game as Mike Babcock?
No.
He got a mask made and stuff. And he looked like him. Yeah, check out Commie's Twitter. Oh my God, it was hilarious. No topics off base on NHL Nightly. We love to talk hockey, but we will talk crazy, hilarious internet stuff. And, we'll talk, with our fans too, man. Rick, I agree, man. They just aren't playing good team defense. They don't have the defense. Oh, you got the volume. You're hearing it. Should I throw it up for the chat? So everybody
dude, that's sick. But isn't that the same? It looks like the same Babcock that was on your video the other night, the guy that was sitting at the post game, the post game video. Was that Commie too?
I don't know. It might have been, man. It looks like he got.
Dude, that was him, man.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. He's for those who don't know in the chat, you're new to the hockey. You're just coming in. We don't want to talk down here. We welcome all new people. We want everybody. Mike Commodore is a former player, and Mike Babcock is a former coach, and he coached several places, mainly in Detroit and Anaheim. And he won a cup in Detroit, and many of the Red Wings players will tell you, Chris Chelios being one Hall of Famer, U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame, that Babcock lost him the 2009 final because he wouldn't do line changes. So anyway, Mike Commodore is not a fan of Mike Babcock. At some point, he played for him on the Red Wings, and he treated him very badly. He's notorious for treating players really weird and badly, and being a little bit of not a great person. The telltale thing for me was when the Detroit Red Wing arena workers were like ecstatic when he was let go, or he left for Toronto. They said he was like you have to be a real piece of shit to piss off arena workers. One, like, say what you want to about Sheldon Keefe. I'm going to go to Toronto here in 10 days. I'm going to ask an arena worker, hey, what do you think of the coach? And they're probably going to say great things about the guy. Okay? That's not how you treat people. Anyway, Mike Commodore, and famously not, I think he wants to make sure he puts the final nail in the whole boy's coffin. He's come back from the dead once. And, twice, really, because he got run out of Toronto on a rail too, didn't he, Rico?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He got ran out of Toronto. I remember he used to just portray himself as almost better than the players, just let him know that he's down at Lakeshore running every morning and jogging and, just one of those guys that's just trying to be better than everybody, it just seemed like. And obviously what he did to Mitch Marner wasn't the coolest thing either. He just go and turn a guy on the players and use his authority against the younger guys. And at the time, Marner was a younger player. He just used him, And, yeah, he inherited a good team in Detroit. He inherited a good team in Toronto. So, coach of Team Canada, again, inherited a good team. So,
hey,
glad he's out of the game, man.
Rico, thank you so much for your insight on Babcock with the Leafs. Not to interrupt, we have a Australian St. Martin 17773. Australia first saw highlights last season, hockey highlight. Watching Vancouver versus Nashville, first game I've ever watched. Awesome. Well, hey, St. Martin, if you got questions, don't be afraid to ask. We love having you. What time is it in Australia? Where are you at? You in New South Wales? You in Perth? You in Sydney? Where are you? In Northern Australia? Tell us where you're at. You in Tasmania? Are you in New Zealand? No, just kidding. I know you're not in New Zealand. You wouldn't mistake New Zealand for Australia. But yeah, man, appreciate you coming in. I'm in Alaska. Rico's in Ontario. Barrie, to be specific. It's 2 p.m. New South Wales. I love Australian TV, by the way.
I think they're like 15 hours ahead or something.
Highly recommend Richard. It's a show called Rake. It's phenomenal. And then another crime show they have in Australia that's really good that I love called Underbelly. Check that out. It's got Anthony LaPaglia's brother. I can't think of his name. But anyway, it's Wednesday there. It's Wednesday here, is it not? It's Wednesday. No, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Sorry. So, yeah. Rick Smith, our Canadian gold medalist, Hall of Famer, Hockey Hall of Fame. Rick, I'm going to see your thing at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Babcock wanted to see the players' cell phones from each player to see how they live because that's really, come on, right, Rick, I'm so with you. Like, I don't understand. And then he played it off. Like, he had an out. I think he's a sociopath, man. Like, really knows how to. So St. Martin, we are watching that game right along with you. I hope you're still with us. We are watching that same game, Nashville, Vancouver. It's 2-1 in the third. Is it the third or second? We're going to the second. Yeah, we probably won't be on the entire night. Rico, I saw your real costume for Halloween.
Yeah,
and you were. Remind me again. You were
Travis Barker, and my wife was Kourtney Kardashian Barker.
I'm sorry, I knew it was a tattooed white guy. I just couldn't remember. Machine Gun Kelly and Travis Barker.
Yeah, not Machine Gun Kelly, man. That's not a good Caucasian.
This is not a good Caucasian?
Machine Gun Kelly's not.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. You know what? Hey, man, I saw him perform at the NHL All-Star game in Vegas, so they brought him down on the ice from way up on a platform. And I was like, this is bubblegum rock. I was
You
like,
know, you know what? You know why I don't like him is because he dissed Eminem, and Eminem basically put him right out of the rap game and said, "Listen, if you're gonna come at me and diss me, you're gonna go play rock and roll for the rest of your life, man. And you're not rapping anymore." And ever since he put that hate video out to Eminem, he's never said a rap word in his life ever again. So that's just douchebag shit, right?
Eminem's kind of a made man in the rap game, bro.
Yeah, so you don't make a hate video against Eminem to try to make yourself, even though you grew up idolizing him. You don't trash him to try to make a name for yourself. That's the wrong guy to do it.
Our friend St. Martin in the chat goes, I put a little prop bet on Novak for a point. Who knows? St. Martin, hold on a second.
Novak's funny though.
No, Rico, I got to talk to St. Martin here.
Yeah.
Did you just not say, St. Martin, you just started watching hockey on TV and you're already betting it? You're a ballsy son of a bitch, man. Like, you don't know anything about the sport and you got Novak for a point?
Novak's a beauty, though, man. Novak's a good call, St. Martin.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate it. Hey, St. Martin, I'm all about you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. My Scarby in the chat calling to remember when Triumph the Insult Comic Dog had a beef with Eminem? And he goes, hey, my mom is a bitch too, but you don't hear me crying about it. Did you ever see that? So Robert Smigel is a famous writer from Saturday Night Live, and he's been in some Adam Sandler movies, and he's written for Adam Sandler and stuff like that. But anyway, he famously did Triumph the Insult Comic Dog on Conan O'Brien, Late Night with Conan O'Brien forever. And it's just like this rubber dog puppets. Awful, but he's hilarious as shit. Like, he went and interviewed Star Wars nerds, and it didn't bother me. I'm a Star Wars nerd. When the Attack of the Clones or something, Phantom Menace was coming out or whatever, was hilarious. Anyway, he tried to interview Eminem at the MTV Music Awards, and it turned into this whole thing. Well, he put a neck brace on the puppet and everything because he was like. And he said this statement that Scar B shared with us that, hey, my mom's a bitch too, but you don't hear me crying about it. He also said, I wish Eminem could just enjoy stealing black people's music. It was pretty funny. Anyway, Eminem hated it so much he roasted him in a video and everything. I don't think it really endeared a lot of people to Eminem. It was kind of when Eminem was not getting real popular, so. Kind of the end there where everybody's like, okay, Eminem, is this your thing? You're just going to diss anybody that disses you? Okay, take the high road. It's a puppet, dude. It's a puppet. It's made for comedy. You can calm down.
Yeah, shout out to Rick Smith tonight for a classic Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Oh, that's what Rick is? Rick, you got to throw that up on socials, man. If you throw it up on your Twitter, I'll put it on the show for everybody to see. Your kids hate you. Yeah, Rick, that sounds like a scary costume, man. I don't really like scary movies, man. I'm just gonna tell you, it would freak the shit out of me. Don't come have beers with me and Rico when I get to Toronto dressed as Pinhead. I'll tell you that. I'll might go running for the hills. So
a lot of people might go running, man.
Yeah, we won't hang out for the whole entire game, but because I want people to enjoy their Halloween nights, and I know it's winding down for everybody. That's why 10 p.m. Eastern is a great time. Rico, thanks so much for being with us tonight, man. I knew you were going to go in costume. Your costume is epic. I really appreciate it. I hope I brought it. I had to get this wig so I could look close to Lebowski. Honestly, the jersey is a nice break from the cardigan, the Lebowski cardigan, because that was pretty warm. But, I'm a guy who hasn't had hair on his head for almost 20 years. So, Mike Fiore giving us a baseball update, 3-1 World Series. That shit is over. You know what, Mike? I think I agree with you. And, I saw a lot of people freaking out when the Rangers lost at home. I was like, dude, didn't they win, all their road games? I was like, they're going to go in and smack Arizona. I just Arizona has been playing over their skis. They're a good team, but they're not a great team. And once I saw Scherzer pitch pretty good, and he only got 3 innings in, I'm like, nah, this is a good team, man. Scherzer would have got knocked around by half the. Oh, Vancouver just tied it up, baby, on the 4-on-4, 1907 in. We can stop talking about boring ass baseball and start talking about the hockey. That was Elias Pettersson. Boy, he's been fun to watch this year, man. Have you gotten to watch a lot of it? I know it's late. I know the Canucks are on late for you. How are you feeling about Canucks?
I love the Canucks, man. top end talent on that team. They got Demko. If he's playing like a solid number one goaltender there, I mean, they got the backup from Pittsburgh, Casey DeSmith there, just in case, break glass. But on the back to backs, compare compatible backup. But these guys are playing. These guys are playing for Tocchet. These guys are playing for Tocchet right now, man. They needed the right guy behind that bench. And like he said, no dust against Bruce Boudreau or Travis Green, but man, Tocchet there.
No.
You got Mikheyev from Toronto, a good player. Tyler Myers is starting to play again, and I guess he's not trying to overdo anything there because they got other D that are just suppressing, like just taking the ice. And Quinn Hughes is coming into his own this year. The guy's getting like 5-6 shots a game as a defenseman.
Okay, Mike, I'll talk about your bet, your gambling bet on FanDuel here real quick. Remember when they were talking about Tyler Myers being the next Zdeno Chara? Chara was kind of a late bloomer. He could really still turn into that player because you know what you can't coach? Height and size and weight. And that dude is so long. You know what he reminds me of, honestly, on the ice when I see him? Chris Pronger. As far as size and stature, that's how Pronger was on the ice. He was just so much bigger than everybody. He could be such an intimidating guy. And, as a defenseman, you only age. Sometimes you age into the position and you do well. You don't overplay things. You keep it a lot more simple. And you end up being a better defenseman for it. I could totally see Tyler Myers, making that transition and being a much better defenseman in the second half of his career. I'm here for it. I'm really rooting for Vancouver, man. Now that I know that Seattle probably not going to be the playoff team, they're going to struggle. I really want to see. I like Tocchet, man. Okay. Oh, by the way, before we get into my notorious TBG, thank you so much for being with us. The beard abides. The dude abides. That's right, man. I'm the dude. You're the Bowski. Mike Fiore, our friend in New York Rangers fan, says Panarin to win MVP is plus 20,000 to win on FanDuel is saying Kreides, Mika more likely to win MVP than Panarin. They are giving the same odds to win MVP as Malkin. Actually, Malkin played really well for Pittsburgh this year. I haven't gotten to watch the Rangers as close as I normally do. That's a trip. Did they call it? They call it? Boy, that was a trip. But I'm excited to see. I want to see. Like I watched a little bit of the Vancouver game. They came back, but I just thought some things went their way. I thought Vancouver looked really good too. I actually thought it was just a great game. It was a really good game with two good teams. I think I'll say this right now since we're talking New York Rangers with Mike. The Peter Laviolette thing has just been the hire of the offseason. That team looks like, and nothing against Gerard Gallant. I liked him as a coach. Laviolette is a lot more of a strategy guy. And you know what's funny, Mike, that you said this? Mike says he's plus 20,000 on FanDuel and he's plus 700 on DraftKings. I believe FanDuel owns DraftKings. Yeah, Mike, I'm assuming you're saying you love Laviolette. Laviolette's been so good for the Rangers. As a Caps fan, I loved Laviolette. We didn't win not because of him. I mean, they were just decimated with injuries the last two seasons. And so I just don't put any of that on the coaching at all. I think he was great for the Caps. It was a good stopgap. 3 years he was there. I love the guy. He's brought every team he's ever coached except for the Caps to the Stanley Cup final. And I could see the Rangers being ready, man. And you know what I'm really liking to see about the Rangers? And Rico, I want your opinion on this. Really starting to see it from Lafreniere. Really stepping up this year, real early in the season, making an impact, scoring goals. I think he has 4 goals. Really just kind of and playing really good hockey. What have you had a chance to watch the Rangers?
I haven't watched many games this year for the Rangers, but one thing I've noticed is they pulled Lafreniere off the third line with those young players, and they put him up on the second line, I think, with Panarin, and just giving him more of a shot, more ice time, playing him with a little more veteran help, I think, on the line. That's just totally helping them right now. And of course, Laviolette being a coach there. You got the goaltender, you got the future Henrik Lundqvist there, and that Rangers have all the pieces. If the playoffs started right now and you play the New York Rangers, even if that Devils Rangers series played each other again right now, it'd be a hell of a series again.
I like the Rangers so far this year. I mean, the Caps beat the Devils, and I love the Caps, but they're not a good team this year. I mean, they're a better team than their record says. I looked at some of the stuff. They're actually been really unlucky scoring and stuff, but they no, I'm not saying the Devils are bad by any stretch of the imagination. Singsy, my boy, big-time Devils fan. Kevin Smith, everybody knows I'm a diehard Kevin Smith fan. Grew up in New Jersey. He's a Devils guy. Scotty Gomez from Alaska. I'm an Alaska guy. I love the Devils. I just really have liked the little I've seen from the Rangers this year. They've looked really good. And you know what really, too, what sold it for me was the first game of the season where they just went up to Buffalo and just beat the pants off of them in Buffalo. And we're all talking about Buffalo is there. And the time is now for Buffalo. They have the team. They bring in Eric Johnson. They have their young guys they've got enough scoring. And I think Buffalo has the scoring depth. They just got to learn to play a little bit better defensive hockey. And I think their goaltending, although it does look like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen might be stepping up to be the starter, which I think is really actually the positive for Buffalo. Levi's still young. You don't want him paying 55 games like his rookie year. I just feel like we've seen this story where these young goalies come in and they do really well. And maybe you get them in the playoffs. So
what's another sneaky good pickup for the Rangers that's going to pay down the stretch when games matter and you get into back-to-backs and Shesterkin's playing a shitload of games is Jonathan Quick, man. This guy,
he's looked good for him. Yeah, he's looked good for him.
Looked good for the Rangers, man.
3-time Stanley Cup winning Jonathan Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I know. I'm with you on that. I agree. I think a lot of people scoffed at that thing, but I was like, Jonathan Quick didn't have great numbers, but yeah, 2-0. Our friend Mike is letting us know in the chat for the people that listen to this on the podcast. Mike Fiore, a New York Rangers fan, says Quick's been good. He's 2-0. Yeah, I've agreed. I think Quick is better than Halak. I think the Rangers have actually not had a great backup for a while. Really since Georgiev. And they couldn't afford to keep him. I mean, Colorado signed him as a starter because they lost Kemper. Georgiev is a good goalie, and he was a big help to Shesterkin and the Rangers. Like, here's a guy he's going to win probably 3/4 to half his games. He's never going to be a bad. I always thought Georgiev, I thought the Rangers probably should have got something for him because he just felt like a guy that was like, yeah, I mean,
what the thing about the Rangers too is when they were bad, they didn't go through a prolonged rebuild. They were bad through a couple of years. I think right before COVID, they were kind of a shit team, but they drafted well. Lafreniere, people were questioning about them. Then they got this guy on defense. I think they picked him in the first round, Keandre Miller. Like, this is another guy that's almost at a point per game so far this season. First round pick. It looks like the Rangers hit on this guy too and right back into contention. I think the Rangers.
I got him and Adam Fox on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I luck out with this? Yeah. No, I'm with you, bro. I'm eating some Halloween candy for the thing. So sorry if hopefully it's not too distracting, but I don't have to get up, and we're enjoying talking hockey. We appreciate you guys coming in. NHL Nightly. I'm Beard Lebowski. With me as always is Rico. Maybe I should say with me as always Rico. We're out Pearlo tonight. He is at a Halloween party, doing the right thing. We miss you, Pearlo, but you're doing the right thing, buddy. Yeah, man. New York Rangers are way better. They're not going to be the team that falls off. I don't think Pittsburgh's a playoff team, and I think the Capitals are actually a better team, even though they lost to them. From what I've seen from the Caps lately, the Caps beat the Devils. I think that was a good win. They went up 3-0, then they went down 4-3, but they came back and won 6-4. I think they're starting to get a little more puck luck. They're starting to get used to Carberry's system. They've been out Nick Dowd, who's one of the best faceoff men in the NHL. He's an important fourth line guy for him. He comes back. I think all the guys have gotten to play in his stead. Malenstein and Protas are starting to bud, and they're starting to score and starting to get more comfortable at the NHL level. So I think the Caps could make some noise. I'm worried about Buffalo. They've kind of put it together. Like I said, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen the last couple of days. Toronto's starting to look a little shaky 2 in a row. I worry about Toronto's defensive depth. Don't you? I mean, that's the thing to me. Like, I feel like the goaltending, I think Sammy's going to get his game. He'll find it. Woll, I think, is really good. I think they'll be good to split time through those guys anyway. If our man Pearlo was here, he would be complaining about the coaching. He really does not like Sheldon Keefe. But how do you feel as a Leafs fan? Where are you feeling like?
For the Leafs, I mean, Klingberg was a good pickup for him. Riley's there, but the thing is, McCabe was just bumped up a little bit. Like if you put the worst defensive pair together, maybe like on the Leafs it'd be McCabe and Klingberg. Like those
Isn't
guys.
McCabe out though? I thought McCabe was out.
Yeah, he's hurt, but that's.
I thought he was on IR. Didn't they put him on LTIR? I believe he's going to be out an extended period of time. I thought he's actually played really well for you, by the way. Not to interrupt, but go ahead.
Yeah,
by the way, Ryan O'Reilly's thousands.
I know what you're saying, and Giordano is ready to step up, and the more he plays, the better he feels, and the better he feels he plays. But the guy's like the oldest player in the NHL right now too. So I think Toronto's one of those teams where they just got to play out the season and get to the trade deadline, and then they're gonna use whatever the hell they have left in their cupboard to get a defenseman at the deadline.
You think
that's
you get anything?
Toronto season in a nutshell is they're going after defensemen at the trade deadline like they did last year with Gustafsson and Luke Schenn. I know it didn't work out and stuff, but I think Gustafsson's actually playing good for the Rangers right now. Sneaky good player.
Yeah. No, I mean, he played for the Caps last year. He was a part of that trade with you guys. I like Gus. I feel like he didn't get a chance in Toronto. I think they should have played him more top line. But the problem was O'Reilly was so good in the playoffs. It was like, oh, we don't need him if you get this O'Reilly game, you know. Real quick, tonight is Ryan O'Reilly's 1,000th game played in the NHL. Hard to believe, too. Ryan O'Reilly on his fourth NHL team. Started with Buffalo, moved to Colorado, then went to St. Louis, then went to Toronto, and now in Nashville, 5th team. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Jake McCabe's day-to-day. Jake McCabe's day-to-day would have growing his MRI results.
Yeah, but I thought they put him on LTIR because he's going to be out. Like, I think the LTIR rules are different in hockey. You do it right away just so you get the salary cap relief. I think it doesn't matter the length that he's coming back. But they knew he wasn't going to be back the next game. Usually you don't put a guy on LTIR if he's just going to miss a game or two. But it sounds like they feel like he's going to be out maybe a week or something.
Yeah, what about that guy in LA, that Lafreniere guy that's like slotted right into the lineup due to cap reasons too, because Arvidsson's gone in LA. They were talking about him earlier tonight too.
Arvidsson's hurt, right? They got Arvidsson hurt. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in, man. Really appreciate it. Mike Fiore said goodbye. He's got to head out. Yeah, Mike, you're on East Coast time. Really appreciate you. It is getting late there, right? Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, so Victor Arvidsson out for LA and Lafreniere
or something.
Lafreniere or something. Yeah, I thought Lafreniere. Harvard guy. Yeah, got in a big fight. Oh, Rick Smith is bemoaning that Luke Schenn should have stayed. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about Leafs defensive depth, I mean, that's really what scares me. Giordano, man, he has not looked good. In the Leafs games, he's been noticeably bad. And that's usually like what you could say about Giordano is he was going to play really well most of the time. And you just feel like Father Time might be catching up with him a little bit. You know,
you need Timmins back, and you need Liljegren to be stepping up into a bigger role. I think in Toronto. Other than that, they're going to ride the season, like I said, to the trade deadline, get a D or two there, and once teams start realizing that they're not in contention anymore, Leafs will pick a couple guys up. And
yeah, Leafs aren't going to fall out of contention. I'm a little concerned, but they're not going to fall out of contention. They're just too
No,
bad.
but I mean, other teams that fall out of contention, they realize they're sellers. At least will pick defensemen off their team. Maybe a couple of guys out of Pittsburgh or somebody.
Okay, I'm gonna say your last name, Jay, and you got to tell me if I say it wrong. Our friend Jay Poonsalan. I hope I said that right, buddy. If I said it incorrectly, let me know. Our friend Jay Poonsalan said, "I'm back. I know it's still early, but who's the best team and the worst team in the NHL right now, and explain why?" Well, we talked about it earlier as far as the worst team, and I think it's not a question. It's the San Jose Sharks. Rico, do you disagree?
No. San Jose's probably going to have the worst record in the league this year. Not because they don't have talent or anything there. It's just the team is in a major rebuild right now.
Okay. So Jay says wrong. Poon or Pun? Punsalon? 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 Did I say that? Pun, P-U-N? Punsalon? Let me know if I got it right, Jay. Anyway, I apologize if I didn't. If I don't get it right after that, I will just call you Jay or Mr. P, whatever you would like.
You can't name a better team than San Jose in the NHL right now, or a worse team than San Jose. You can't name one right now, even if you try. Name one team that's worse than San Jose.
There's not.
But the other side of the question is a little more intriguing.
Okay. Punsalon, I got it right. Punsalon. Okay. Hopefully that is. Rick Smith says Pittsburgh's real bad too. Yeah, they're there. I mean, I would be really concerned because one, they're up against the cap. I mean, at least San Jose, you got all kinds of cap room. You could, and it's unfortunate that the trade that they did is. I can't believe it's top 5 protected. I honestly, I would have, if I was Mike Greer, I would have said no, you don't get them. We get the pick, no protections. I think they should not have had, because they took on bad contracts. I mean, Jan Root is a good player. But he's the second or third pairing on any winning team. I think he's playing top line minutes for them. So Jay, really, quite frankly, it's no question the worst team. I think everybody would agree with you. Our friend Elite Eklund, aka Jack Olson, was in the chat earlier. He's a diehard Sharks fan that lives in Chicago. But he would tell you they're not good, and it's a good thing. But don't go in there not prepared to play them, because they're playing really well under David Quinn. I like what Mike Greer's doing there. I think he could have got more, like I said. Jay, I'll let you know when the game comes back on. I don't think we're on a commercial break, but I'll give you the shots on goal. I honestly thought yesterday my Knights would lose, but they didn't. They tricked us. They're still good, and despite the fact that it made mistake. I did good, but not satisfied with the shots on goal. Oh, yeah. So, Jay, I have to say, I think your Vegas Golden Knights were a victim of maybe being a little tired. They are a little older team, and Montreal's good. They're not getting anything from Slafkowski. They're not getting anything from Josh Anderson, but they're winning games. Caulfield scoring goals. Monahan's been pretty solid for them. They're getting solid goaltending. They've got pretty good D. They've got Wi-Fi healthy this year. Montreal's another team. A lot of people, I think, would have thought they would be one of the worst teams. No, they're going to be in the mix for the playoffs the way they're playing right now. You better not go into Montreal sleeping or have them come into your town. They are going to play you hard, like Philly, like San Jose. San Jose's problem is they're not playing bad. They just have no talent on the team. Okay, as far as best team, Jay, since you're here, I truly believe it's the Vegas Golden Knights. And I think we're going to see a repeat. I just think that barring injury, I don't think any of the East teams are ready that are coming up. Maybe the Rangers. They can match up fairly well with their defensive depth, and if they get all the scoring. But I got to see something from their bottom 6 there consistently. Let's see Wheeler, if you get 20 out of him, there might be winning the Stanley Cup. They're kind of the dark horse for me in the East. Again, the New Jersey Devils. Rico, where are you at? I mean, what do you think?
No, I think you're bang on with Vegas, because a lot of people will think Boston because of their undefeated, what they did last year. But what happened to Boston last year is the same thing that happened to Carolina. The forecheck from the Panthers just penetrated the Boston and Carolina defense, and they couldn't get it out. Who's got the best defense and depth and system in the league? It's probably the Vegas Golden Knights. They could handle a team like Florida. It was no contest. Injuries are not to the Panthers. Vegas was winning that cup as soon as Florida showed up there. So until proven otherwise, I think the way Vegas is built and their back end, as long as they get that goaltend in there, I think Vegas is the best team in the league again this year. And they got caught by Montreal. Everybody gets caught. Everybody gets caught tonight.
Yeah, I thought Montreal looked dominant at times, Rico. I don't know if you saw the shots on goal in that game, like our friend Dave. It was like, it was almost 2-1 Montreal. Like they were in, like it felt like they spent the whole third period in Vegas's end. It was crazy.
You're going to get the Central beating each other up. Like the Colorados and Dallases, yeah, they will be there. They will be beating each other up during the year. But Vegas is another.
I'm glad you brought that up. And then we'll talk about what Rick and Jay said. Colorado has not looked good their last 2 games. They got beat badly by Buffalo, like I said, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and they got shut out by Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is not good. Now, my friend Darren Ogle, Avs superfan, came on our show, talked about the Avs. We joked about Crosby slipping something in McKinnon. I'll tell you what, dude, like they don't look right. They're missing something. I don't want to doubt a heart of a champion, and I love that Colorado team, but they're missing something. And they need something to I'm sorry, Jonathan Drouin, just like Connor Brown. I think Jonathan Drouin's actually playing solid for them. But they're not getting anything from Connor Brown in Edmonton. I'll say this right now. Edmonton is not a threat to the Vegas Golden Knights. If anything, it's Colorado, and I have not been impressed with what I'm seeing from Colorado. So you could be saying that the second best team in the West that could really maybe give Colorado the Vegas right now, if I had to pick a team that could give Vegas a run for their money, it's maybe Dallas. And Dallas just got worked by the Leafs. And we just said the Leafs are kind of hot and cold. So I don't know. Dallas feels like they're missing something too. To me, and like you said, Jay, your question and why, I think we kind of determined there's just not a better team right now than the Vegas Golden Knights. I just saw it was the 8th or 9th game for them. Jack Eichel took his first penalty of the season. I mean, we're in trouble if Jack Eichel playing defensively the way he's played, and he's played well this year, and he's going to be up for the Lady Bang and the Selke. We're talking about like Datsuk. And I'll tell you, like anybody not saying it right now, and I hope you guys quote this out and tweet me out and call me out for this. Anybody not talking Jack Eichel for Selke and potentially Lady Bang is not watching the games. He looks really good, guys. And I'll just say it. So we're 6:47 left in the second. We're not going to stay after this period, guys. We really appreciate it. We'll sometimes stay on late for 2 or 3 hours, depending on how many games we got going on. We got one. It's a chill night. It's Halloween. I want to call it a night. Rico's been such a baller showing up with the puck in his head. I can't believe he's not at the doctor getting treatment. You know, I'm high as a kite as Lebowski would be, so it's just hard. I got to get Walter's underwear out of here and, get the money to the big Lebowski. They peed on my rug, so I got to get that figured out. My dogs, though, not Woo. If Vegas goes against the Ducks or LA in the first round, it's going to be another series. Oh, dear. This is from our friend. If Vegas go against this is from Jay. If Vegas goes against the Ducks or LA in the first round, it's going to be another series. Oh, dear. They'll have to work hard in the playoffs to get a cup if they want to go against teams that are good. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the first round is really honestly, and I think we all can say this, in the past 10 years, I feel like the first round has been the toughest round. I mean, look at okay, no worries, Rico. I got you. Power play for Nashville. Thank you, Rick. I got you good series. I got you good series. You meant to say good series instead of another series. Yeah, I got you. Nashville didn't score, Rick. You're not that far ahead of us, right? I don't think. Well, Nashville with 50 seconds left. Wow. I don't know who that was. Sissons. He should have shot the puck. Roman Yossi. Oh man, Roman Yossi, silky. Hot take would kill to get him some Roman Yossi on that Leafs team. I'm telling you. Oh, here we go. Oh, hello. Okay. Oh, Rick sent us the photo. Oh, Rick. I hope you're still in the chat. I got this. I just got this, buddy. I'll throw this up on the screen, but I gotta put the game down because I want to put it up on the screen where no one else can see it. Rick, your costume is ridiculous. Everybody, our viewer, Rick Smith. Well, we don't have Rico on the chat. Here we go. Here we go. Rick Smith. Rick Smith is Pinhead. That is Rick. That is frightfully scary. Great costume, my man. I will. I'll scare Rico when he comes back. Rick, I will show it to him. Okay, let me get the game back going here. Oh, sorry. We are this is NHL Nightly, sponsored by Fans First Sports Network. I am Jeremiah Maxwell, aka Beard Lebowski. Happy Halloween to everybody in the chat. Really appreciate it. We had 15 people come. Nobody stayed too long, but we're still at a commercial break in that game. So I got something for you, Rico. Since you're back, check this out. Remember we were talking Rick Smith's
the Hellraiser?
Yeah, dude, his Pinhead costume. Check this out, buddy. Holy shit, eh?
Oh shit. That's sick, dude. Wow. That is awesome, man. Hell,
isn't that good?
Dude, those were horror movies when horror movies were horror movies, man.
Yeah, I don't like horror movies, but like those old ones don't even bother me really. It's kind of the new stuff. Yeah. So Jay asked, did we talk about the top 16 predictions in the roundtable and another preseason video? We did. And you can find those. I think our boy, let's see. Okay. Oh, one new request. Fury Pence. Okay. Oh, I might look at them. Okay. Coachella Valley, I reserve 6-3 if anybody wants to know some AHL scores. Wow. I think he made that comment a long time ago there. He's no longer with us. Anyway, Rick, thank you for sending us your Halloween costume. That was way cool. What is going on in this long commercial break? Are they at the intermission? Are we at the intermission? No, there's like 3 minutes left, tied 2-2. There's like 3:52 left in the second. I was gonna call it at the intermission here. All right, made from 3 leathers and skirt, was made by my aunt to work at. So people on the podcast, come check out the YouTube video. I always include the link to the YouTube video. I'll do that after the show. I'll upload it with the audio. You'll see the link. You could go on there and see at the like 128 mark, Rick Smith's Halloween costume is Pinhead. Very scary, Rick. Looks really good. You definitely take Halloween seriously in your house. Yeah, Jay, check it out. Check out the videos. You just have to go back and look at all the content right now on the Sports Beard page. Video wise is only under the live tab. I'll start trying to edit through that stuff and getting some of that on the main videos with like intros and stuff. I'm just really behind on a lot of that stuff. It's hard when you have a life outside of this and have to produce. But I just don't want to spend, 8 to 10 hours a day working on this show and then, like neglecting other things I have to do around here, like getting my dogs walked and yard stuff and snow removal, which is coming very soon for those of us in Alaska. So I appreciate everybody understanding. We want to get better. We're going to get better, and we need your help. Rico asked for a videographer. It's going to be really cool. Rico, I'll probably bring a selfie stick and we'll figure it out, buddy. We're going to get a lot of B-roll footage for the show, and we'll get some stuff. Looks like Vancouver just scored on the power play 3-2 with 3:22 left. Rick Smith's letting us know. Elias Pettersson, I think, is second of the night. Yeah, so you don't have to rewind, Jay. We did talk about Adam Johnson. We did spend a lot of time, but I did want to say, included in the description in the show for tonight is the link to Adam Johnson's family's GoFundMe. I'm going to donate some money. I said $100 I'd pledge, just in the name of NHL Nightly. But just, we don't want to spend a lot of time like exploiting this guy's death. It's a horrible thing. I know some people's feelings on it and stuff. It's really complex thing. I know a lot of people are talking about the neck safety, and I just don't feel qualified or really justified to kind of go into detail about it. Vancouver up 3-2 again. I felt like this has been a really good game back and forth. So that must have been a double minor. I don't know. Did they screw up? They still have the Vancouver power play up. So was that a double minor? Oh, yeah. He died, Jay. This was like 3 days ago. I did not watch the video, Rick. I kind of saw a glimpse of it, but I'm not watching it. I watched a guy in the East Coast Hockey League get his wrist all and his hand was destroyed. I knew some buddies that ran into him at a bar. He's like, his career's over. It's like, no, I'm not doing it, man. I think this game is far and away from over. I've liked what I've seen from Nashville. I think Andrew Burnett's got those boys buzzing. Yeah, I like the jersey too. I was wearing the Big Lebowski cardigan earlier, but I had to put the jersey on for the Canucks because I didn't throw it up. So yeah, I know Rick's right. I have to update the score that you guys see in the chat. It's on me. It doesn't talk to anything. I've had a 2-1 Vancouver for like an hour and a half. So I'm updating it now. It's fixed. Again, presented by Fans for Sports Networks. Please leave a like and subscribe. Follow me at Beard_Sports, Rico at Wings_Fan79, or Pearlo, who's not with us tonight, at Pearlo NHL POW. Pearlo also's BPOW picks, where Pearlo's been throwing out a lot of picks lately. I don't know what his stuff's been looking like. How's he been doing, Rico? I know you're riding with him. EBR, everybody rides.
He's been doing okay, man. Pearlo's been doing good.
Yeah, I mean, he knows his stuff, man. If you're into gambling, man, come listen to the show. Follow Pearlo, man. He's a huge asset to this show. I don't take his presence for granted. Even though sometimes he looks like a white, blurry ghost that's being erased by a pencil eraser when he's on our show, and he's hard to see. He's not hard to understand. He stands pretty firm on his convictions and has a lot of outlandish hockey opinions, like Sidney Crosby will be traded this year. That's my favorite. So did you like that one? I texted my wife, meatloaf, mom, meatloaf. She brought me another Caucasian for the show. Yeah, so Jay says, this is in regards to Adam Johnson. I saw the video probably 10 times because it pops up in recommendations on Instagram and Facebook. Well, I don't spend a lot of time on those two, although I did tweet stuff on Instagram and Facebook tonight. Like 10 times it pops up and recommended. It's hard to watch. I got a nightmare after I watched it the first time. Wow, Jay, I don't know how old you are. That's awful, man. I'm sorry to hear that. It's an awful thing. I've seen guys get maimed on a hockey rink, like I said. Then I always think of Richard Zednik. Do you remember that, Rico?
What's up?
The Richard Zednick. He played for
Jesus.
he got hit in the jugular, I think, too.
Yeah, dude. It's scary, man, because one thing I listened to on Kipper and Bourne today, when they first jumped on today, they were talking about it quickly, and Sam McKee went out and bought a neck guard, and people were like, okay, what's the neck guards like right now? Because when I played hockey growing up, like as soon as we got out of like bantam and midget, we didn't have to wear neck guards anymore. They were so uncomfortable. They'd stick to you. It would be hard to breathe. It'd feel like you're wearing a thick scarf around your neck.
Yeah, they're not like that anymore, man. Yeah.
And that's what Sam McKee was saying. Like some of them go down your shirt a little bit, but then Sam McKee's like, well, I wear no tarp underneath. I wear just jersey, and I don't want to wear.
Yeah, he's playing in a no-hitting men's league too. Like it's not the same as being a pro where everything's moving a million miles an hour.
For sure.
Like I'll say this: the wrist guards that you can wear, I wear them. I have ones for my chainsaw when I have to chainsaw trees. And dude, I chainsaw my knee one year. And I'll just say this, I don't ever run my chainsaw now without wearing chaps, the wrist guards, a tearaway flannel shirt. So if it gets caught on that, it tears off my body instead of tears me up. And usually like Carhartt pants, which by the way, makes no difference when it comes to a chainsaw if you're not wearing chaps. So I feel like if it's something the players can wear and it doesn't change how they feel, wear it. It's not, I don't think the league's going to mandate it for a few years, but we're talking about if this was the fluke that everybody believes it is, why wouldn't you want to wear the thing? Because what if somebody actually does try to kick you with their skate?
Well, it's like Brian Berard, right? It happens. It happened once, and then eventually visors get brought into the game. So does something bad like this have to happen for something to get grandfathered in?
I mean, it's like Brian Berard with the going blind in his eye, man. Like a great American defensive hockey player with the Islanders and the Leafs, and took a puck in the face, and if he was wearing a visor, he'd have been okay. And, my thing is, I wasn't wondering this, and I don't know about you, and then we'll go on what Rick Smith said here. He asked me about Marty McSorley and Donnie Brashear, and yeah, I do remember that. But a neck guard wasn't going to save him in that situation, Rick. I don't think that has anything to do with safety equipment. So I kind of don't know the relevance. You'll have to tell me, my friend. But yeah, no, I know it went to court, buddy, but like that's a different thing. It's basically like McSorley was trying to goad him in a fight. I honestly feel like McSorley kind of probably wore that. I mean, I love Brashear. Like played for the Capitals. He's a defender. Ovechkin said he would want to play with him on his right wing because like he would have a lot of space. Totally get it, especially high-end Donnie Brashear. But he's just one of those guys where it's like he was a known brawler. I mean, he's a guy that fought a lot. I mean, so is McSorley. So it's like,
well, there's intent and then there's accidental.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I had more problem with the Todd Bertuzzi hit on Steve Moore, even though I remember what Steve Moore did to Marcus Naslund wearing a Canucks jersey, and even though I'm not a Canucks fan by say, I just remember those incidents. And I know why Bertuzzi went after Moore, but he just kind of went after him like as a total kind of bitch. And Bertuzzi was a big enough guy to just square up with him. The thing was, Moore wasn't going to do that because he's not going to be able to fight Bertuzzi. So I just kind of thought it was a really bitch move for Bertuzzi. And, Steve Moore has to come to the carpet. I just feel like it didn't need to be Todd Bertuzzi. Maybe you get somebody like an Alex Burrows or somebody to fight a Steve Moore. Feels like a middleweight matchup where Bertuzzi was kind of a legit heavyweight guy. We're talking about Todd Bertuzzi. He was a big, I was always a fan of his game and stuff. 40 goal scorer, good player, man. Physical, tough guy. And it kind of never felt like his career ever was the same. But like in this case, like I want to talk about the video in specifics because I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this. But like, I'm not going to say it was on purpose or accident. I heard the other player has a reputation or whatever. He happens to be African American, by the way, too, or African descent. He's a black hockey player, right? The guy who skate hit this guy. Have you, Rico? Are you familiar?
Yeah, I saw it, dude. And then like I saw this one post on Twitter, and with the picture of his face, like it's a fucking mugshot, like his hockey DB profile picture. Somebody posted that on Facebook or on X, not Twitter or whatever, on X. But they said this guy just drop kick somebody in the face and killed him and manslaughter and ended his life. He should go to jail for life type thing, and then just let the comments roll after that, right? So, and then I rewatched the video after, and then it looked like he fell and he gave a little extra leg kick, but then it gets brought into so much slow motion and what happens, and then where he's falling and where his leg is, and man, in a hockey game to want to kick somebody in the fucking throat is just unbelievable in real time. So, I mean, we're not.
I don't think he could have done it on purpose if he wanted to, based on the quick thing I saw. But regardless, so tomorrow, remember, folks, we're gonna have Dylan and RJ from Emerald City Hockey. Dylan Travers in LA, aspiring screenwriter, former hockey player, scout, Penguin / Seattle Kraken guy. Great dude. RJ Econos, full-time NHL reporter for the Seattle Kraken, covers them, hosts the deep dive. They're going to be on the show 10 p.m. Eastern. Next day, we're going to have Off the Wall Hockey, John Duncan, big-time Boston Bruins fan. Maybe talk a little Providence hockey. Providence, he's a big Providence fan. And see how the college hockey scene's going. I know he goes to some games. So I'd really want to Rico, I don't know if you've met John. We're really excited for you to meet him. And then, I talked to one of the biggest Oilers podcasts in the world. I think the biggest. And I talked to their main host, and I don't want to, but he said he would come on the show, and I'm super excited. I'm a big fan of this guy, and he works for, in my opinion, that maybe the second biggest brand on YouTube as far as hockey goes. And I'm not counting Hot Take Hockey. I love Hot Take Hockey, but he's not there. Actually, Hot Take Hockey has more followers than these guys, but their show is great. And then I'll publish it if we get him definitively, but I don't want to force the guy. And we're working on some former players. Guys, I'm doing my duty. I want to get some coaches. I want to get some former refs. We are going to get some guys. So, and I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be shameless. I'm going to work hard to get this thing going.
Buddy, you're the hardest working guy in show business that I know right now, man. I love it.
I just want to put on a great hockey show for you.
I know.
Guys.
You're so passionate, man, and it's awesome. We have everybody in the chat and everybody watching the show, and I hope it grows, man, because we're here for these guys, right? Like, you put in so much work that, you just love the fan interaction. You love talking hockey, and it's wicked, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we can learn from each other, right? I mean, like, you're from Canada, I'm from America. I have had Isles Girl on before, Jay. If you go back into my old videos before NHL Nightly, I've had Kim on. I'm a big Kim fan. Kim will have on Kim too. I just haven't reached out to her yet. She was dealing with the anniversary of the death of her grandma, and she went to the hockey game. And Kim is a full-time season ticket holder, so she's going to go to 41 New York Islanders games. So we'll get Kim on. I've just been, she's been on. She was on last season. So for sure, Jay, I got to get a Vegas guy on. I miss our old friend Tape to Tape, but he stopped streaming. So he's probably working now. He's a full-on adult. Life's hitting him in the face. But we'll get I know a couple other Golden Knights guys. I'm going to work very hard to get a guy who used to work for the Vegas Golden Knights organization, who I think is very, very good. One of the best hockey analysts. He should be working for a team. I'm going to try to get that guy on very soon. And I think I can. So we will have some good shows. Okay. So the second's over. I said I was going to end the show after the second. It's 3-2 Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver. One period to go. Enjoy it, watching with your loved ones. Happy Halloween. Thanks so much for joining us. Any parting words for the folks, Rico?
No, man. Thanks for coming by. I know only 2 games tonight, but there's a big slate tomorrow, so make sure you join us.
Yeah, we got the Emerald City boys, Emerald City Hockey. Get with us. All right, we'll see everybody. Thank you so much for coming.